and especially the results of 4 splendid projects of scientific cooperation. We will bring scientists, but also privates and students in the magic world of seagrasses. And we will pass through sponges and shrimps to show how new information is still hidden in several marine organisms. Many of them could be crucial in the next future to fight diseases and world problems, as the one that we are facing now. As a matter of fact, this meeting was planned since the last year. It was planned to host our Israeli partners and exchange their kind and warm hospitality granted us in the last months. The pandemic made the rest. So we are working in this way now, but we are sure that this will be just a chance to start diffusing our common knowledge in view of future possibility of cooperation and exchange with all this period will be over. Prior to pass the microphone to our president, Professor Dohrn, I need to express my personal debt of gratitude to everybody contributed to the organization of this event. In fact, I have been personally affected by the pandemic with all my family, and the organization of the Congress was mainly followed during my sickness by several persons. First of all, Dr. Maria Costantini, and also my students and collaborators, Mirko Mutalipassi, Emanuele Somma, Francesca Claviano, Thomas Viel, among the others. Of course, the partners University of Napoli and Genova, and our splendid friends from the University Ben Gurion of Beersheba in Israel, whose cooperation has been always concrete, scientifically excellent, and sincere. In addition, as in other congresses, I wish to give you some technical information. I will not show you where is the coffee break place, because you will have to organize yourself, but coffee breaks will be useful to adjust the times in order to have a shunt and assure that all session will start on time. This will be important to assure the introduction of several different persons. In case of problems for connection, doubts, please do not hesitate to contact any person in the organizing committee. You will find their email in the flyer of the Congress. And at the end of each talk, please, also private and students, feel free to introduce yourself to ask questions. This is all for me. I don't want to take more time, and I would say to start with the greetings by the housekeeper, the president of Stazione Zoologica, Professor Dohrn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Valerio, for your kind introduction. I'm the president of the Stazione Zoologica since 2013, and this is an honor for me. But this is more than a formal welcome from my point of view, because I was born in Genoa and I studied in Genoa. So I'm very pleased, and I welcome the new rector, Delfino, of the university. And I have a lot of activities, cooperation with Israel, a lot of colleagues. We are running actually a series of projects with the Israel colleagues, and we are talking about marine sciences, which are the core of my work and my mission. I'm particularly pleased to be with you today, also because somehow this activity, this event, has a long, preparation history. I recall when I was collaborating with the Ministry of University Research, and Gigio Benedetti, at present is the Italian ambassador in Israel, was the attaché of the Minister Giannini. and he was running, fast the ministry and was doing a lot of things. So he's a fantastic and very active and competent person. So I have the pleasure to work with him when he was still in Italy, and now is Italian ambassador in Israel. And also Stefano Ventura, that is the Italian attaché of the embassy, was very, very brilliant and capable person. And we were planning a lot of things. And unfortunately, the COVID stopped almost everything, because we were planning a meeting for the last September and whatever. But this event changed completely. Still, we are doing a lot of things, and I believe that the projects we are discussing today, we're presenting today, are a further bridge to reconnect our countries very soon in the future. My pleasure is also related to the fact that Israel is recognized all over the world for the excellence in science, and the connections between our countries is very important for both our communities. It's a sort of bridge over the sea connecting the two, also in terms of potential cooperation related in particular to the, Valerio Zuppo was mentioning the magic word of seagrasses. I would say the fantastic word of marine biotechnologies. And Israel is one of the top countries in the world in this perspective. My welcome is related to the need of doing more in Italy, also in this field, which is very promising, is considered one of the most important fields in the near future, but also deserves some special attention. We recently opened a new department of the Stazione Zoologica on marine biotechnologies, but we also wanted to specify eco-sustainable marine biotechnologies to provide a detail on the fact that we can exploit a lot of things for marine ecosystems without producing necessarily genetically modified organisms and other issues that are, still under a complex debate on the impact that they might have in the environment. Of course, genetically modified organisms in the field of pharmacology or whatever, the medicine, are absolutely essential, but their use in the field may be complicated. So I wanted to put a constraint at the science we are doing there. So, to make a long story short, I'm very happy to be with you today, and I'm very happy to follow the activities and the cooperation between our countries. And I do really hope, that we can see each other very soon as the pandemic, era will end. Hopefully next summer we will see. Let's cross the fingers, and we will be able to meet face to face and to plan for future cooperation. So thank you very much for being today with us, and I wish you all a good work.
Thank you, President. In the meantime, that I see also Gabriele Procaccini, I don't see if he is online in this moment. I will pass to, I will do the chairman. And I don't know if Dror Eidar is there.
Created in one day. To reach this level of collaboration that we see between the countries, you need trust, you need functioning frameworks, you need a sense of closeness. This is a precondition to be able to collaborate during crisis. And this is built day by day by people like you. As for the matter of this encounter, without being an expert, I can only say what we all know. We have only one planet, and the sea is a crucial part of it. The more we learn about it, the more we understand it, the more we can enjoy from it while taking care of it. The growing population, the climate change do not stop because of the pandemic. These days, the Jewish people celebrate the festivity of Hanukkah. Every night we light candles, to remember the cruse of oil that our ancestors lit after one of the darkest hours in our history. The traditional song that the kids sing while lighting the candles says, "Though the night is cold and dark, in our soul there lies a spark. Each of us is a small light, but all together we shine bright. I think this is what you do every day in your joint projects, and we bless you for that. Thanks again to the organizers and the participants. Be'atzlacha, good work.
Thank you so much for your very kind words. And waiting for Gabriele and the scientific parts, I would move to Giuditta Peruzzi, that is from our Italian Ministry, from the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because she has several interesting topics to grant us. Thank you, Giuditta.
Thank you, Valerio, and thank you to you and to all the organizers and to everybody who's here. I'm very happy to be here to represent the ministry. And Valerio asked me to give a quick overview of the activities of our office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And Valerio can do it with or without slides, so please tell me what's best for you.
With or without lights?
With or without slides.
If you have slides, they are welcome, of course.
Okay, so I won't take very long, and I hope to be able to manage, because I've never done this.
No problem. We have plenty of time to enjoy you.
So, no, in the sense that I have the presentation, and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
You do? So yes. I managed to share my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so very quickly, I'm a science expert at the Office of Scientific Internationalization at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. And it's an office of science diplomacy. And basically, science diplomacy exploits the joint efforts of science and diplomacy toward economic growth, intercultural dialogue, and basically to implement the dialogue between people of different countries. And what we do, being science diplomacy, is we fund research. And we promote bilateral and multilateral scientific and technological cooperation. And therefore, we jointly fund research projects with over 18 countries worldwide. So this is really just to say that the structure of the diplomacy includes science diplomacy, which cooperates with economic diplomacy and cultural diplomacy toward an integrated strategy for promotion of our country abroad. And the science diplomacy offices, in particular, the Office 9, where I work, is headed by Domenico Fornara, and on behalf of them, I also thank the organizers for inviting us to show these activities. So as I said, we have executive protocols of scientific and technological cooperation in place, which are basically the way to implement the agreements, the bilateral agreements between the governments of our country with other countries. And the main funding schemes that we have are called special relevance, which are basically research projects, and mobility of researchers, which is basically funds only staff exchange within the framework of funded projects. This funding has been increasing over the years. It's increasing the number of countries, increasing the number of researchers, mobility, and increasing the number of projects that we're funding. And in the past, let's say 3 years, although the data are up to 2019, because in this pandemic year, we had to postpone most of the executive protocols to 2021. But we, together with other ministries that contribute a certain amount of money to the budget of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we've jointly funded over 370 bilateral research projects with 18 countries and almost 600 staff exchange projects with a smaller number of countries. one thing that I wanted to point is the total budget for bilateral projects. The blue color is the budget dedicated to the Israel bilateral agreement. And we know that Israel is the country in the world that has the highest budget on research, that funds research very, very well. And so we have to match their effort, and it's very, very good that we can dedicate a special section of our program to Israel. And in fact, we have in place a specific agreement with Israel with a yearly budget of over 2 million euros, which have helped us to fund in the past, since 2002, actually, since the agreement has been in place, 82 research projects. And it's a very important aspect with Israel is that we not only have a scientific call, but we also have an industrial call, because Israel is a great incubator for startups and has a very good industrial program. And with we have the implementation of the agreement for the scientific calls is with the Ministry of Science and Technology, the Israeli MOST, and Moshe will certainly tell us more about it from the Israeli viewpoint. While the industrial call, we have as counterpart the Israeli Innovation Authority. So we have in place more calls with Israel than with any other country, and we invest more money than with any other countries. In particular, the scientific call is directed to has two specific research teams every year, while the industrial call is open to any research field of mutual interest. This year's call was already closed about a month ago, while the scientific call and the joint laboratory call, which is another funding scheme that is aimed at funding, at consolidating bilateral collaborations by creating virtual or physical joint laboratories. So these two scientific calls are coming up soon for the coming year, and the projects that were funded in for 2020 were just released on the website. We have, as I said, a lot of different funding schemes with Israel, and some that I would like to mention are the Rita Levi-Montalcini Prize, which is funding for a senior Israeli scientist to spend about 4 months in Italy within a collaborating laboratory. Then we have a yearly call for bilateral workshops, which was temporarily suspended due to the pandemic, but we really hope to open it again soon so that workshops like this one can be physically, can occur physically, which is certainly a completely different thing than online. We also have a program of mobility for startups due to the importance of Israel in the startup world as a startup incubator. And I think this will be probably described later together with the other activities promoted by our embassy in Israel by Stefano Ventura, the scientific attaché. And this is what I wanted to say, that to do all this, we work, we have an office at the ministry with a group of multidisciplinary scientists like myself who are on temporary leave from their institutions and work to coordinate the scientific aspects of these bilateral projects. But we work in tight contact with the scientific attachés around the world. Sorry, it went on by itself. With the network of the scientific and space attachés to the Italian embassies worldwide, who know the actual reality of the countries where they work. And so they're a precious and very important asset for the bilateral context. They actually mediate the whole work between our office at the ministry and the counterparts around the world. So this is a quick overview, as I promised. So I just want to say that science diplomacy at our ministry has a specific area on the website. So anyone who is interested to learn more can find all the information on the website, and or by registering or connecting to our platforms, which are the Reset platform, where you can basically have information in real time on the calls that are coming up, on any opportunities that come up, and registration is required. While the Science Diplomacy portal in Novitalia is really an information portal that is dedicated to news, calls, opportunities offered by all the scientific institutions worldwide, and consultation is absolutely open. Registration is necessary only for uploading information, and it has single web pages for each country that are curated by our scientific offices of the scientific attachés around the world. So I strongly suggest that anyone who's interested to know more about the bilateral cooperation, and I forgot to mention, it's important, we have a specific area on the website dedicated to the agreement on scientific, technological, industrial cooperation with Israel, because it is, as I mentioned, a specific and very important part of our activities. We have a lot of calls coming up each year. And so with this, I conclude by just mentioning another information in case someone is interested. We've just had the yearly conference of the scientific attachés to the Italian embassies, and the topic of this conference was science diplomacy and integrated promotion of the country. And this is for Italian audience. If you're interested, online on YouTube, you can just plug in Conferenza Detti Scientifici 2020, and you will be directed to a page where the morning session, which was very interesting and exciting with scientific discussions, can be accessed on YouTube. And with this, I thank again the organizers and everybody for inviting me to this conference, and I cannot wait to hear the results. Thank you. I don't know what I did. What did I do?
I can't hear.
Am I still in?
Yes.
Oh.
Valerio, you are talking without microphone.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was saying that we were overwhelmed by interesting information. We thank you about this. The next to speak should be Moshe Ben Sasson, and he is there, yes. And so I welcome Moshe, that is Director for Water, Agriculture, Environment of the Israeli Ministry of Science, Technology and Space.
Thank you. Good morning. Do you hear me? Yes? Thank you. Dear representative of the Italian government, distinguished speakers from Italy and Israel, organizing committee, and above all, researchers and students. Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. And indeed, I believe it is very exciting to all the people that gathered here and are being involved in this bilateral project in different ways, to sit for a moment and reap enjoy the fruits, the outcome of this exciting research. It is clear to me that the results that we will see soon were not easily achieved, especially in our challenging corona times, but that the devotion and the dedication of the students and the researchers made it happen. But as the agricultural process does not commence with sowing the seeds, but rather with plowing, loosening, and fertilizing the soil. This project started in a long process of publishing the cause and evaluating the most scientific proposal. In this call, the success rates were about 10% only. And all these activity happened in the frame of the Italian-Israeli binational collaboration. Among the extensive scientific collaborations that my ministries have, the scientific and technological cooperation with Italy is one of the most successful and leading programs in this context, due to the broad, long-lasting, extensive, and the scientific level of its nature. The academic track within this cooperation, which practically started a decade ago in 2009, has raised a large interest and popularity in the academic communities of both countries, with more than 600 Italian and Israeli groups that wrote and submitted together a proposal, and with around 80 project researchers that were eventually funded. All of the academic activities of collaboration are managed, maintained, and being further developed by the joint hard work of my ministry with the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its representative in Israel, the Italian Embassy, which is a locomotive that seeks new and creative routes to strengthen the joint binational scientific collaboration. I would like to thank all those who contribute to the organization of this successful workshop and to wish you all fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I try to...
Sorry for interruption.
Okay.
Dr. Sperozzi, please, can you close the screen sharing, please?
I wanted to suggest. Judita, you have still the sharing of
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
we are
exactly what I
seeing
was
your
wondering.
screen.
How do I? Okay, I think I found it.
I realized this later.
Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you.
But it is fine.
Is it okay now?
Yes. So thank you so much, Moshe. Stefano Ventura is there, right? Is Stefano Ventura connected? Maybe not. If so, I would move to Bruno Gazzo, that is president of the association Amici di Israele.
We are connected. I want to tell you that it is a little bit alienating to talk to a screen instead of directly to a human being. But this is the time we live in today. So, waiting for a new spring of hope, good morning, buongiorno to all of you, and a special Boker Tov to our Israeli friends. In the 2019, the Italo-Israeli Friendship Association of Genoa awarded the SmartTech project with the Franco Bobbio Prize. And I want to congratulate once more Professor Marco Giovine, University of Genoa, and Professor Michael Lan, University of Tel Aviv, for this remarkable research project. And I want to extend my congratulations to both teams of young researchers. Excellent job, guys. Well, not now, not at this time, but usually academics have many opportunities to get to know each other, congresses, seminars, and so on. But more frequently than imagined, there is a demand for a quick, direct contact with a potential research partner in Israel. And this is, in a nutshell, the mission of an association like mine, and also our goal, to make things easier. There are some scientific cooperation projects that have substantial funds, others much less. And so, if you need to meet once more, our association can host those coming from Israel at the family of one of our members, and sometimes even pay a flight ticket. Oh yes, but not in business class, of course. Our association is in Genoa, and I greet the new rector of the University of Genoa, Professor Delfino. We are ready to cooperate with you, as we have done in the past with your colleague. But we are in Genoa, but there are several other Italo-Israeli friendships associations in Italy. Yes, we are a network. Yes, we work on a voluntary basis, but professionally, which means, in a nutshell, that you are free. I mean, free of charge. Not so bad indeed. So, why not? Well, my best wishes to you all for these 2 days of work. I don't know whether my work will allow me to follow on the webinar, but be sure that at 11:30 this morning, I will stand at my Nespresso machine to share the coffee break with you. Thanks for your attention.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to turn on my microphone. Thank you, Bruno. I think we met in Genoa the first time and we shared our common passion for Marinella tights, although today you still wear one, I don't. And now I am honored to give the microphone to the rector of University of Genoa, Federico Delfino, for his welcome as one of the organizing institutions. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm really grateful to the organizer of the Congress, to the President Danovaro, President Gazzo, for this opportunity to address to all of you my warmest congratulations on the fruitful joint projects carried out in these recent years. The agreement between our countries, signed almost 20 years ago, has started up a new chapter in the already excellent relationships between the two countries.
I can say some words about this Centro del Mare. I can show you a few slides just to see some details about our Centro del Mare. Just a moment. If I succeed in sharing, yes. Do you see it? Is this visible?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so just a few words about our Sea Study Center. This starts from the brief description of our university. I don't want to go in the details of this. Our university is rather old, let's say, founded in the 15th century with 5 schools and 22 departments, so it's a rather large university with a rather large number of students, which are 30,000 students. And again, as a generalist university, we have more or less all the topics, and we are very active in technology transfer, and we already rank as general university in the top 2% universities worldwide. However, as said by our rector, Professor Delfino, we decided some years ago, in 2019, to establish this Centro del Mare Sea Study Center because we wanted to exploit some peculiarities which we have in our university and in general in our territory of our region and our city. Of course, our region is very centered in terms of activities, economics, and life on the sea, and this reflects also in our activities at the universities, both regarding teaching and regarding research. So by this, we have normally, as I said, a lot of cooperation with institutions, with companies, and in general with public entities in the global topic related to the sea. This was something which already happened, but we wanted to establish this center in order to make all these activities more systemic, with a vision devoted to enhancing the internal cooperation between the different areas which we have, and enhancing the cooperation which we have with the external part, so public entities and companies. So by this we wanted to have a better coordination, a better and facilitate the multidisciplinarity and exchange of information, which is very important nowadays in any field, but we believe that it is very important, especially in the field of sea studies, because the sea studies are very broad and have a lot of different topics. Just a few words about our Sea Study Center. We in our university, around 400 people, starting from professors and researchers, including PhD students and others, work in the field of sea-related topics, both for teaching and research. And this makes us one of the best universities in the world on maritime topics. For what regards marine and ocean engineering, we are first in Italy and 26th worldwide, according to the last rankings. From the point of view of teaching part, we have a number of courses which are dedicated to the sea, and in particular 5 bachelor programs and 8 master programs. They are listed here in the boxes on the right. And we have also a PhD course which is directly dedicated to marine science and technologies, which has been activated for the Sea Study Center. And we believe this is very, very important, because this is the first part of research, but is also one of the most important part of research, the PhD studies. And in this PhD we have more than 20 scholarships per year, and these groups 6 different curricula, giving again an help in having interdisciplinary activities between different various topics, which is very, very important again. This does not end our activity in terms of teaching in sea-related topics, because apart the dedicated courses, we have also more than 200 classes on sea-related topics in other courses, maybe not directly and fully related to the sea activities, but with some parts which are always related to this. As an example, for the maritime law, we have a course which is the more, in general, broadly speaking, a course for in the field of law, but maritime law is a very important part in this. By all these activities, we have probably, for sure, the richest educational offer in Italy dedicated to the sea. Coming to the various topics, not only related to teaching, but also related to research, we have almost all topics related to the sea, starting from the technological part, with seagoing vessels, robotic and underwater vessels. Myself, I come from the naval architecture field. I'm a naval architect, and so we have courses and activities in naval architecture and marine engineering, both related to ships and related to leisure boats. We have one of the oldest courses in all Europe, and we have also the unique course related to leisure boat in Italy, which we have in La Spezia, and it is also carried out in English, which is something which we like very much because of the possibility of internationalization of this course. We have also other courses related to the sea, which are related to the officials for the merchant navy. And moving to other technological activities, we have, of course, courses like or topics like coastal and offshore infrastructures. We have topics related to the sea energy resources, which is a very interesting and growing topic with renewable energies, together with our colleagues from the mechanical and electrical group. We have then also some other activities related to transport system in general, logistics, port economics. This brings me to the economical part, which is very important as well. All the connection with the port authorities and the shipping industry, which is very, very important. Then we have also, of course, the science part, so the part which more belongs to the meeting today, so marine biology, ecology, and biotechnology, which is the topic of this today meeting, which is, of course, very, very important and growing as well. And then we move also to other topics which are not related to technological or scientific parts, but are again very, very important. So tourism, cruising, sea sports, which are as well very, very important. Our city will have a very important event in the next few years, which is the ocean race. And it will be also the European capital of sports in the 2024. So we will have a lot of possibilities with these two events to grow up with activities which are always related as one of the most important topics related to ocean race to sustainability. So something which leads again to the protection of the environment, which is of course one of the topics which link all these activities. And then just to conclude with the topic which we have, maritime seafaring law, as I already mentioned, and also something related to the history and culture of the sea, which is again very, very important. So we believe by this that it is very important to have this multidisciplinarity and to enhance as much as possible the cooperation between different fields, which can lead us to provide a much better product, both in terms of teaching activity and in terms of research activity, because nowadays it is impossible to keep only on one topic. The topic have to be interconnected, and all the knowledges related to the different topics have to be linked in order to get the best from every single field, because otherwise the research or teaching activity remains linked to only a field which is not good. And all this has to be related to some joints, some aims, and the main aims are, of course, the protection of the environment, the sustainability, all the attention to the marine environment, which is, of course, one of the topics of these interesting meetings. We also believe that it is very important to enhance any cooperation with other institutions and other countries, especially, because this leads to an improvement of all our activities. And so I believe that this meeting is one example, a very good example of this way and I congratulate very much you for this event, and I hope that there will be the possibility to have many others in future related, of course, to biotechnology, but also to all the other fields which we have in mind. So I thank you, and I hope that you will have a very nice meeting in the next few days.
Thank you, Michele. That was very kind of you and very interesting, as all the other parts of this morning. The last to speak should be Marco Borra, but he apologizes. Yesterday he had a call from the ministry and he had to go, so we will not enjoy his